What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and this should be very, very interesting. I am doing my road to Civil War with the Marvel movie marathon, and now I am here to talk about Iron Man 3, which was the third in the Iron Man movies, but this came 1 year after the Avengers. This is directed by Shane Black. Let's talk about Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, because obviously he's great in the movie. He's great as this character, and that goes without saying. He's going through PTSD. He is having a lot of effects from the Avengers movie, and more so, not just the Avengers movie, but I guess just the idea that there are aliens out there in the universe. And the fact that out of everybody in the Avengers, he's the most human, or one of the most human characters who are going to now be facing threats like that. And it's almost like he didn't realize how much that affected him until this happened. And I love that. I do. I know this movie might be the most controversial Marvel movie as far as their cinematic universe, and trust me, I have my issues with it, but that's not one of them. I like to see Tony more vulnerable. I like to see him dealing with something on an emotional level, a mental level, seeing that he is human, that things do get to him. He always brushes things off with jokes and quicks and one-liners, and we love it. Trust me, we do. But it's good to see that something can get to him like that. Also, I like seeing the fact that because he has this, he doesn't sleep. He stays up and just builds suits. Builds suits one after another, furthering his technology. I even like how he's remotely almost controlling the suits. So he can be down in the basement doing work, while the Iron Man suit is upstairs walking and moving around, talking as him, like it has his voice from the controls. And it was something different, something fresh. I like that every movie we see different variations of his suits, of how they work, how the technology has upgraded, because that's happening in real life. Technology gets better and better, so these movies reflect that. Also, I like how this movie goes back to the basics with Stark. He doesn't get complacent. It's not just like, oh, well, everything's going to be easy now for him because he has his suits, and because we've seen him use his suits so well. It's like, no, we're gonna put him in a situation where his house blows up, he loses a bunch of his suits, and his suit that he's wearing shuts down. He's out in the middle of Tennessee, nowhere. He's stuck. And he has to rely on his intelligence, of his intellect, of having to piece together objects, make his own weapons, just like in Iron Man 1, where he uses intelligence to get out of that cave. It's a lot of thematically characteristic things for Stark that I loved. Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts, again, I love. I think I love her the most in this movie, because not only is she the boss, the CEO of the company, but she gets the most to do. That brief tease where Stark puts the Iron Man suit onto her and she's wearing the suit, she gets her quick rescue moment that's from the comics of her becoming a superhero. I love that touch. And then later on when she gets captured and injected with the Extremis project and turned almost into a superhuman of sorts. It might sound weird, but the end where she becomes a complete badass, like, that's what you wanted. You wanted Pepper Potts to hold her own. Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan. Now, sure, he was the director of the first two movies, and he even played this character in a lesser extent in those first two movies. But I feel like we got a lot of Happy Hogan here. He gets a lot of nice moments with Tony, and he even gets his own action scene. And originally, the character was supposed to die in that bombing, and he's in the hospital. He was supposed to die, but they didn't kill him. And I love that they didn't kill him. It would have been a real downer if they killed Jon Favreau off. But I love that he came back, even though he wasn't directing. He still came back and played this character. Don Cheadle as War Machine. I admit I don't love the Iron Patriot thing. I don't love it. It's okay, it's fine. I just like the War Machine suit so much better, and we only got it in one movie. Like, we didn't do enough of it, in my opinion, and so it was already gone here. I feel like a lot of the movie he gets taken out easily and captured, and it's like, okay, fine. But where he makes up for it is he's very humorous. He gets a lot of great teamwork scenes with Stark, especially at the end with the end battle. It's the two of them working together, bouncing off of each other. They feel like friends. Don Cheadle. This movie is what really proves that he's a much better roadie than Terrence Howard. Again, I don't want to compare actors. I just feel like Don Cheadle really went for it here. But that's where we have to address the elephant in the room. Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. Look, I've talked about this countless times. I have, but it still does not go away. The feeling I got, I remember going into this movie in the theater and being like, holy fuck. The Mandarin in this trailer looks terrifying, frightening, realistic. I watched the movie, I'm seeing the terrorist videos that he's sending to the White House and broadcasting, and he's capturing people, killing them on live TV, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is like a comic book Osama bin Laden character. This is like a comic book terrorist leader who, it's real, it felt gritty, realistic, matched well with what's going on in the real world, and I loved it. I know some people ultimately complain about this Mandarin because he wasn't Asian, he wasn't really the Mandarin from the comics because the rings weren't like magic, it was just kind of there. And okay, fine. Me, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about him being Asian. I don't give a shit about the magic. It's just because I didn't really grow up with the Mandarin character. It means nothing to me in that level. I just knew that I wanted a Mandarin. I wanted a version of the character that I could get behind, that I could enjoy, and I thought that's what they were giving me. And I was loving it until the reveal. And at this point, it's been a couple years. I'm obviously past it, I've accepted it, but even rewatching it, I still kind of groan when Stark sneaks into the building and finds Ben Kingsley and he's acting all goofy, and you find out that he's an actor. He was hired by Guy Pearce to pretend to be this Mandarin character just for the public image, to basically subvert everyone else while he was doing his underground stuff. Now, when I think about that, just as a story, as a plot, I go, that's pretty smart. For Aldrich Killian, Guy Pearce's character, for him to think that far ahead, to plan all of this out, to outsmart everyone and create a Mandarin character, it's pretty damn smart. It makes him a formidable threat to Tony on an intellectual level and a physical level, because then you find out he too has the extremis, so he is almost subhuman as well. So as a villain, Guy Pearce works. The twist hit me in a weird way. I don't know. Maybe it's hard to explain. Again, it's not because of the Asian thing. It's not because he's not the Mandarin from the comics. It's just because they took the idea of the Mandarin and kind of made it a joke. Rebecca Hall as Maya, she's pretty wasted here, and it sucks. I like her as an actress, I do. And I thought maybe her showing up with some of a past connection to Stark would have amounted to something, but it doesn't really. The little kid who ends up helping Stark in Tennessee, some people were annoyed with him. They thought he was just another kid who is supposed to help the hero out, make him find himself. I found him funny. I did. I found his relationship with Tony funny. How Tony, he wasn't really warming up. Like, he warmed up to the kid, definitely, but he did it in his Tony Stark way, where he was sort of making fun of him a little bit, or saying like, oh, whatever, dad's die, get over it. As far as the action goes, there's some great action here. There is, I can't deny that. The scene where the plane, everybody in the plane flies out and they're falling, 13 people, and Stark has to save them all. And he goes in there and he gets them all to hold on to each other before he finally drops them. Like, I enjoyed that a lot, because being in a plane and that happening, is one of the most terrifying things ever. And I also enjoy the end battle with all of the different Iron Man suits. We see the payoff of Stark working in all the suits. And in the comics, he has that many suits. He has different suits for different functions and different environments. So here we get a bunch of them. We get the huge, almost Ironmonger suit. We get a gray suit, a silver suit, a blue suit. We get a bunch of different suits, different looking suits, and it's just awesome seeing Stark jump off of one thing, land into a suit. That suit gets destroyed. He jumps into another one, does some fighting, jumps into another suit. Like, that's awesome. It's creative. It's different. I will say this movie is very different. It's more of a character study of Stark. It has a big twist involving the villain, which maybe I don't love, but I respect the movie for going for it on so many levels. This is a very intelligent movie. This is a movie that takes a risk. So I can't take it away from that. I don't want to make it seem like because I don't love the Mandarin twist that I dislike this movie. I was going into this ready to say that this is my least favorite Marvel cinematic movie. And watching it a second time, I enjoyed it more. I did. I guess that's a testament to how much I enjoy these Marvel movies so much, is that I can't even fully... I don't know what's my least favorite. It was this one. But, you know, it could be Iron Man 2. It could be The Incredible Hulk. It could be Thor the Dark World. Like, some of these movies, it's like, depending on my mood, they might go a little higher. Or they might go lower. I was very disappointed the very first time I saw this in the theater. That just, I was floored by what was going on with the story. But rewatching it so many times, and especially now, years removed, I'm okay with this movie. I am. I think there's a lot more good in it than bad, that's for sure. So, anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about Iron Man 3? Is it your least favorite? Do you hate it? Or do you love it? I know people who love it. The after credit scene, where because the whole movie Stark is narrating it and you think he's just talking to us, but the after credit scene you find out he's talking to Bruce Banner. Like, I love that. There's great stuff in this movie. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!